It used to be you just come to work regardless, but now it's a little bit more relaxed, and they're like, yeah, don't want to get others sick.
Yeah. I just lost the sound there for a minute, but
Hmm.
you're
Oh,
back now.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe it was just at my end. Um,
Mm,
yeah, I'm glad that it has become more relaxed. Yeah,
me
and I
too.
think it's good, not to pass it on to other people when you have something.
Hmm.
Here, the reason I asked is because here currently there is this strain of, you know, COVID. I don't know which version, and
Hmm.
my wife Susie caught it, and she had it for about a week. It was quite,
Hmm.
yeah, obviously not like COVID back then, but with a bit of fever and a lot of coughing and phlegm and stuff. And I am very pleased that my immune system is back. Before COVID-19, I would rarely ever fall ill, rarely. So somebody would have, the flu for like 2 weeks. I would go through that in a day, all stages in a day. Next day, I was good, right? And but after I caught COVID, and we had it initially, like 1920 around there. After that, for many years actually, the slightest little thing would trigger it. I would get this tingling on my tongue, and anything would, like, my immune system would, like, just jump at it, right? And so I'm pleased now. I currently feel it, but very, very mild. Nothing like my wife had for the past 2 weeks. And so I'm glad that that is getting back after so long. Yeah.
I've heard of some unfortunate side effects that are semi-permanent. I got COVID, and then I passed out and ended up going to the hospital, but it was because my overall fluid level was too low. And it's a like a stereoscopical reaction. It can also happen when you see like yourself bleeding. You think that you're running out of blood or something, and your body makes you fall over so that the blood doesn't go from your head. I'm one of those unfortunate people. So like I can't see blood, or else it might make me pass out. It's
But
frustrating.
this is no, this is so cool. This explanation you just gave, I
Hmm.
never, thought about it, never researched it, but it makes so much sense
Hmm.
that, that why the body would do that, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool. Not cool for you, but
I mean, it'd be nice if I had a little bit more choice in the matter, but
yeah, yeah.
the fact that it's automatic, it's frustrating.
Have you ever heard of a series called Doc Martin? It's a British. No. So,
It's a shoe brand.
okay, yeah.
But
No,
as far
no,
as a TV show, I haven't. But I've heard of the
yeah,
shoe brand. Doc
yeah.
Martens,
No,
yeah,
it's a TV show, and it's
really
this
popular.
doctor in the south of England, right?
Hmm.
He moved from London to the seaside place, and the reason he had to move there, and now he's actually a surgeon, and so he moved there. And now he's a GP, a general practitioner, but the reason is because he cannot see blood, and so that's kind of like a problem when you're a surgeon, right?
Hmm. For sure.
Yeah,
I know they have some methods they use to try and lessen the amount of blood that is involved. Whether it's losing it or adding it, because it's generally better for the human body to not mess with your blood volume
yeah,
if you can help
yeah,
it.
yeah. Of course, interesting.
So yeah,
So you're home and you have time to get some chores done.
I hope so. Hopefully, future me. I just emptied the dishwasher. I'm here now. I need to go pick up some milk from the grocery store. Um, and hopefully I'll fill the dishwasher. I need to. I'm in AUB's like paid program. I didn't pay for it, but they let me in to test out what they're working on,
Right.
and that's tomorrow. And I am currently behind on what I was supposed to do. So I need to record some content and produce it. So hopefully, future me gets that done. I also have somebody I'm working with in a shorts thing that does like TikTok and stuff. And I have a meeting with her later today. Hopefully, I feel okay for that
Right.
because I'm trying to. I don't know. I've been figuring out that the way I'm going about it isn't working, so I need to change things up. And going live is really big. Alex Hermosi has been going live. Some other creators have been going live, so it's definitely the way to focus on for content creation. And I need to do a better job of explaining what it is I actually want to do. And I'm thinking of, in order to integrate into Skool better, rather than focusing on the VR aspect of what I'm doing, I'm going to focus on the desktop version, at least until I can get enough people interested. And at least on the VR front, there is new products coming in. So there's going to be new interest. So at least in the future, I could turn that into more of a premium offer for that. I'm hoping I can make a breakthrough because currently I've been kind of floundering.
When you say desktop, do you mean like a 2D version instead of VR, kind of? Or what do you mean by desktop?
So so as in terms of when people are watching the game,
Right.
um, okay. So there is in VR. I don't know if we've talked about this or not, but it's basically they take a 2D screen and put it over both eyes, but shift it slightly for the point of view of each eye.
Right.
So when you see things in VR, you have that field of perspective, and when you don't, it's just like a 2D game. So the desktop version is basically the 2D version of the 3D game.
I see. Yeah. So without shifting it.
Right. I don't know why this happened.
It's interesting that the science of it hasn't changed because, back in, I don't know, 1900s, 1800s, they had these stereoscopic viewers
Hmm.
where they would shift two images to make them look 3D. So it's the same technology actually.
Hmm. So where are we at here? There we go. So this is a world. Oh man, I'm using a model that's going to get in my way here. But, you can create Legos in different blocks. So this is the 2D version, the desktop version.
Yes.
So, and then the only difference from that would be your point of view in 3D. So these blocks would have the extra dimension. So that would be the main difference.
Yeah, that's cool though.
Yeah, and it's a social program. So the more people that get involved, like you can build together. So like we could be in that world. I could build a little house. You could build a tree. We could put up a YouTube thing and turn on YouTube music. Or if you, like for instance, if we were hosting the group there, you could put up something that you wanted to show them on the YouTube screen, and then while they're there, they could also build and work together. So like say, for instance, if for some reason you had a thing for us to work together. And you're like, I want you guys to all work together and build this particular thing. And we're going to use what we have here to work with. And then we all watch the video of you building the thing. And then we're like, okay, we're going to work together. And then you stop the video. And then we simply work together and talk while we do it. And that is essentially what I want to do in groups. And for the most part, show the value and then take that value and amplify it to somebody who'd actually pay for it. But right now, what I'm having trouble with is just getting people to do it for free. So it's just like getting people to see it so far. Even when people are like, "Oh, that's interesting, Keith," they'll be like, "Yeah, but that's a waste of time. I'm not going to do that." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. I appreciate you listening to my story." And then that's usually as far as it gets.
Yeah, I think there's a few different elements here I'm picking up on. So the approach of making it desktop, so in my thoughts, 2D.
Hmm.
And do I understand right? For the person who wants the 3D, they can access the 3D at the same time with the
Hmm.
equipment, right?
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah. And so, instead of going all out on the 3D and make that like the main thing, because that then only appeals to people who have the equipment. And so, me who doesn't, right? If I have access to the 2D version, and then I'm like, oh, I really like this, and now I want to take it to the next level,
Hmm.
get me one of these things.
Hmm.
And I think that's the right way to go. And
Yeah.
then, in terms of not having the people or all that, that comes down to marketing eventually, right?
Yeah.
It's
I need
like
to market myself better.
it's the classic thing of like, have you heard of Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant? Robert Kiyosaki.
That
He
sounds familiar.
he wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he coined something called the cash flow quadrant. And basically, he talks about going from an employee to self-employed to business owner to investor, right? And
Okay.
so the first step that we usually make, unless we're born an entrepreneur and in business since we're 5 years old. So usually we're an
Hmm.
employee first, and then we make the step to self-employed, right? And so what happens oftentimes is you have like this guy, he's a really good plumber, and then his whole family goes, "Oh, you should go into business for yourself because you're really good at that, right?"
Right.
And a lot of people do that, and then they go out of business because yes, they're great at plumbing, but do you know why most businesses go bust within the first year? And this really baffled me. It's because they don't
I'm not
invoice
entirely
for
sure.
their work. Because
You
they
cut
don't
out just a
invoice.
second. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Yeah, so do you know the reason why most businesses go out of work in the first year? And this really baffled me. It's because they don't invoice for the work they provide. And so you have
Mm.
this really good plumber here, right? But he doesn't market, he doesn't have an assistant who, does his calendar, whatever. There's no people being invoiced. And so, what you're describing right now is that step from um, obviously you're going from employee to self-employed, but what you want to go to is business owner. And the main difference, and I had to learn that the hard way, if you cannot remove yourself from the business and it keeps going, then you don't have a business, right? So when I had my store in Denmark, I was minting. But if you remove down there and my wife out of that store, everything would collapse because we were the main people working there. Yes, we had a few, teenagers helping us out in peak season, but if you would remove Dan, it would have collapsed, right? And so you need to eventually get your business so you can replace yourself there with somebody that you hire, and then you have a business, right? And so obviously this doesn't come from one day to the next, but what you're describing about, you're really good at what you do, but the getting the people there, that's something different, right? That's the marketing
Mhm.
and the whole making videos and the lives and all of that.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly where I'm stuck. It's just like I I don't know. I took somebody and showed them what was going on, and I went to a public world, and I may have told you about this before. I'm not sure, but there was a bunch of kids that were cursing and saying weird stuff. So it's like if I go to a public world and try to record, um, it's chaos. Like there's no guarantee I'm going to get a good take unless I just turn off the sound, which then it takes away the fact that I'm working with other people, and I don't currently have people that come up like so. He was just like chatting in the chat while I was on school, and I was like, "Well, this is cool. At least he showed up, but he wasn't like actually talking." So none of the content was anything I could really use.
What's a public world?
So it's all of it's open source. So somebody can open up a world within the program, and then you basically go to the world, and anybody who is in the world is there before you, and you all load up together. Also means that you hear the other people around you saying whatever it is they feel like they want to say, which sometimes is very racy comments.
So what you just showed me is like a private room, a private
It's a
world.
it's a private instance, so I opened up the instance and nobody else was there. I could open it up to the public and then wait for somebody to show up, and they could basically do whatever they wanted,
Right,
including cursing me and calling me names.
right. I understand.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So instead of, what did you call it? The public one?
a public instance or the public world.
Yeah, public world. So
Mhm.
if you would want to enter that, maybe to find one that is more aligned with what you do, that there must be different ones, right? Instead of
It's
a
true.
random one.
It's true. There's a chance I could find somebody. There's been a few people that I've found that I made friendships with, and I tried to talk to them about making content. Some of them ended up being too young, and some of them ended up changing the way they behaved. And then other ones are like mute, or they simply didn't want to be in my content. So um, I guess I just need to do more of one thing because I've been kind of switching my focus between YouTube and then content directly on VR chat and then content directly on school. And between the three of those, I've gotten to the point where I have like one person that shows up and then his sister while while I'm going live.
I just lost you there for a bit. Do
Oh,
you
I'm so
lose?
sorry.
Do you have the same with me here?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
So we
losing
don't.
you on
Yeah.
and off.
So we don't
So
know
I
which
just
side it is. It doesn't matter. But I just lost you a bit.
yeah, I'm not sure either. I just upgraded my internet to do the 5 hertz instead of the 2.4 hertz. So it's supposed to be better internet, but it's also based off of how many people are using the same internet in my area. So maybe a lot of people are on the internet right now in my area here.
Yeah, maybe. We would only know with Mindy, but Mindy is like offline right now because
Yeah,
she
she
could
must have something.
confirm who's dropping off more.
Oh, good point. Yeah, I don't know. I could
No,
do a
it's
speed test, but then it would kill my
No,
frames
there is
too.
there is
it's
Mindy.
it's Keith.
It's
It's
me.
Keith that
Okay,
is lagging.
Okay.
awesome.
Mm.
All right.
Well, that confirms that.
Yeah, I was just trying to get my head around, does it prove it? But I guess, yeah, it does. It does. If I don't drop off for Mindy, but you do, and you drop off for
Hmm.
me, it's on
Hmm.
your side. Yeah, the interwebs.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I
frustrating.
like this. The What you shared today, what I like the most is that you have this 2D version, the desktop version, where you can attract people who might, be attracted by what the world looks like. And then all you
Hmm.
need to do is say, hey, it's even better than that if we go, with the VR set. So this
Hmm.
is really cool. Oops. Yeah. And what about Mindy? What's Mindy?
Weird. So
building.
yeah, I'm just. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry, it's all right. You can
Yeah,
share more.
sorry, something came in between and I kind of need to do something now. So
Oh,
give
okay.
me another 5 minutes and I'll be back.
Yeah, all right. No,
Okay.
that's fine.
Sorry, it's just
Oh,
it
interesting.
happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
So
fine.
it's it's my upload speed. Okay. All right. My
I
download speed's fine.
experienced
My upload speed.
I
Okay.
experienced the same today when I was working, when I was transferring files from my phone to the laptop, and I use this app that is locally works over Wi-Fi. I really like it. It's called Local Send, and you just install it on any machine. It works on any operating system, and so you can do file transfers really fast over Wi-Fi, right? And today I
Mhm.
was like, "What the hell is going on?" And then I did an internet speed on my phone, and it had full blast, right? But my laptop didn't. So for whatever reason, I just did a restart, and it worked well. So maybe for you, it's just a restart or switching between the two Wi-Fi's. I don't know.
Hmm. It's a good
Could
idea.
could be. Yeah.
Yeah. If I reset things right now, though, it'll just kill my whole being able to be a part of this.
Yeah, yeah. It'll take you back.
So, because I think it's like a 10 minute just happened again, huh?
Yeah, it just did.
Awesome.
You can tell when I freeze, right?
Yeah. Yeah, both of you froze, so yeah, it's me.
Yeah, you
Well,
said it's like a 10-minute process when you reboot.
well, yeah, because I'll have to go into the other room, reset it. I'll have to
Yeah,
reconnect here. I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
think it would be a instant thing. I could try. I don't know. I was
No,
curious how
it's
things
probably
have been
not.
going for you though. Like
Say again?
for I was curious how things have been going for you on school.
On my end, it's going really well with the video journey, but that then has the effect that I neglect my other communities, which I'm not happy about. And so, what I've learned now is that, what we just talked about before, businesses when you can walk away from it and it keeps running. The video journey is like that. However, it needs more members because else, because it's also a numbers game, right? Because the video journey is not um, easy in terms of staying committed to do 90 videos, right? It's
Hmm.
I know that. I've been there. It's easy for me now because this is many years later. But I totally understand when somebody doesn't continue for a while and then tries again, etc., etc. And so with 20 members and about a handful being active, it's just a matter of time that you then only have very few that are active. But because they post daily, the community is still very active, right? And so I want to get some more members in and at the same time translate what is working in the video journey over to my other communities, right? Those lessons learned. And one of them is posting daily. That's just a thing we need to do, even if then many of our members only engage when we do that, and then sometimes it reaches a point where we feel like, hey, is it only me posting? I think Mindy reached a point once in one of her communities where it was like that. But yeah, I
What
enjoy it. So remember you in Tales and Trails, I think it was, you felt like there came a point where it's like, is it only me posting here? I mean, come on, guys, do something. But I think that's just the way it is until we hit a certain point where the members themselves start you know, forming their little groups. I mean, I see that in the video journey, right? You have it's only a few people, but they're like a tiny little group within the community. And so when you have this group, they keep each other going, even when you're not there, right? So yeah, it just needs to reach that point first. But when I think about the video journey, now I checked yesterday, I don't know, or the day before yesterday, I think 30, 40 posts away from 1,000 posts since we started. And we only started in, I think, November, so 5 months ago or something like that, right? And that's with only 20 people, out of which only about 10 are active. And so by design, that community just has a lot of posts. But at the same time, I'm seeing, I'm seeing that in all communities, though, it seems like most people take on too much. They join too many communities and they try to be active in too many places. And so while some of the activity that I see in the video journey is great, of course, but it almost seems like people have so little time to even make those comments. And then yeah, but it's not anybody's fault or any community's fault. It's just I think that we um, want more like instantly, and then we try to get in all these different places.
Yeah, with for perspective, I feel really bad about dropping off in that community, but I found that I was like I'd have to watch somebody's video and then like come up with a comment. And this is my fault, but sometimes it takes me like 10 minutes to find a really nice GIF or to think of something really good to say. And other times I would think for like 5 minutes of something to say, couldn't think of anything, and just be like, oh, really nice video, and then move on to the next one. So part of the reason why I dropped off was just like to stay active in that group was for me personally like at least a half hour of a commitment, and that was like every day. So I mean, between making the video as well as interacting with other people's videos, because you're like, well, I have to be, have to correspond with other people if I want them to be active with my video as well.
Yeah, exactly. And so what you just shared is super helpful, Keith, because it just made me realize something. And so one is our personal growth, right? Our personal development. Because I too sometimes found myself scrolling like 10 minutes for that GIF, right? But there came a point where I'm like, no, I cannot be doing that, right? And so either I like instantly find it, and if I don't, well, then there's no GIF this time, right? It's just not happening. So I had to get myself in that thinking. And also over time, I dropped off, right? I dropped off. Yeah. And so over time, also, what I started doing is just saving the GIFs that I use often. And so instead of scrolling for them, I just have them from my folder,
Hmm,
right? That's what I do. I have GIFs I like, and that's where they come from, right? Yeah. So
that
so
makes
that's one
sense.
one part that
Hmm,
I wanted to share. The other one about you having to watch a video and then commenting on it. I just realized something.
hmm,
There's two kinds of comments that we can give. One is about the content of the video,
hmm,
but the video journey is actually meant for us to get better on camera. So what if you were, and I'm not saying, come back, Keith, do this. What I mean is, instead of watching the video for its content, watch it for what you like about how the video is made and what you suggest could be done better. You know what I mean? So the technical part of the video. So in other words, what if we make more comments about that are helpful for the person to get better with their videos rather than on the content of the video itself?
yeah. everybody in there is so kind. So the concept of being critical at all is difficult, you know.
And that is also why it is time that um, we organize. Obviously, that's my end and the team a hangout like we have the school buddies here, so that people who are in the video journey can exchange how they feel about that critical feedback, because I think nobody would mind once they're at the level that we are of knowing one another. um I don't think anybody would mind, but to hear them say it in person on a call like this is maybe what we need, right?
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. And then also another part, and we're talking about a lot about the video journey. um
That's okay.
we don't need to watch each and every single video. I think if we um, pick one person or two or three, I don't know how many, but just a few that we interact with and follow, then it's much easier than trying to keep up with everything. Because imagine this community now is like small. This community could have like 200 people doing the journey right now, and then how on earth are you going to interact with everyone? It's impossible, right? You can't, right? So it'll be a few people that you know like one another or gravitate to one another, and they will be commenting on each other's videos, and that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I really
Yeah,
liked interacting with Fiona's stuff, but her time frame is in a time where I can't. I have to help my family get ready for school. So I can't be active on school during that time frame. And I tried a couple times, like where she'd like, oh yeah, let's walk together. And I'd have her on my phone while I was waiting for the bus for my kids. And I'm like, I can't
yeah,
maintain this.
yeah. And that's okay too. I think there's so many aspects of this that I guess I already learned and went through years ago, when you
Hmm.
are in communities that are international, where you can just not fit for everybody's time zone. You just have to,
Hmm.
yeah, you have to decide, what days am I online, what time of the day am I online, and out of that, I have to do my own stuff, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Having said that, I would still like you to fill out my little poll about when you possibly could be on a call. And now he froze.
Yeah, exactly.
So so you cut out for a second.
Yeah,
What
it,
did
it
you
was
say?
funny. It was funny because as soon as I said it, you froze. For us.
Hmm. Yeah. So it's like a click. I'm done.
Yeah.
So is it an email? Or are you talking about an email? I don't check my emails often. That's why when
No,
I
no,
saw Mindy's post about an email before I checked it. What's up? Sorry.
I made a poll about what would be the best time for having a community call, which
Mhm.
would be once a month, right? Not weekly
Mhm.
like this, just once a month. And for
Mhm.
people, to fill out the times where they normally could make it. And it's not compulsory or anything, but the more people fill that out, the more likely we can make it at a time that fits, right? And so I'll if you like, I'll DM you the link to that post I made.
Okay. I might be able to find it, but it might be faster if you link it. I keep joining communities and I had things set, but they're moving around. It's the one with the poll, huh?
Okay, I got the link here. Copy, put it in the chat.
Wow. Yeah.
Uh,
958 pages of posts. That's awesome.
no, I think
Or
you're
actually, it's 1 per 30, so there'd be oh, that's embarrassing. Okay. Thir 32 it says. Okay.
yeah, it's the 960 or something like that posts in total, right?
Right.
Yes,
Oh, where
I dropped you the link in the chat here.
oh, in here. Got it.
Yeah,
Let me put that on the other side.
but I'll actually, because you don't have to do that now, I'll also drop it in the DM for you.
Oh, well, thank you. I pulled it, so you don't have to do that.
Okay, done. Already done.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, cool. Yeah, I will definitely check that out. I've been wanting to get back into it, but I've been a little lost and overthinking things. I think I need to choose a path and stick with it rather than like I've chosen the same niche, but I keep changing which way I'm approaching my marketing, and I need to stick with one form of marketing. I think.
and it's also for me to define or to communicate, you know, that we can do these videos in the video journey, right? You can do any videos, but if you are a schooler building a community and you're trying to make an ad or a VSL or any kind of message for your community, you can make that as a video for the video journey,
Hmm.
right? Say, hey guys, look, I want to put this in my community, but I'm unsure how, what do you guys think? And so you
Hmm.
can basically test it, right, before you go live with it.
Hmm. That's an excellent idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I've
but
been using the school platform to record a lot of my videos for the video journey, and that was working out really well. I also started doing the double camera with my phone, which I was enjoying. And then yeah, after like hurting my back and not going to work out, a lot of the things that I did throughout the week, like my whole schedule changed. And I haven't gone back to what I was doing. But I want to get back to it. That and me and me and my wife have been changing the way we communicate. So it's been getting better, but it's a work in progress. So that's also changed my time frame. Is the reason why I'm bringing it up. But like, it's dynamically changed my availability, and I'm trying to figure out how to work around it.
right. Yeah, and at the end of the day, all these things are more important than this, in my opinion. Yes, of course, if when whatever you have a school where your main income comes from, then
Hmm.
yes, of course, you want to spend a lot of time here.
Hmm.
But when that is not the case,
Right.
yeah, there's other things that are more important in that sense, right?
Yeah. So I got to figure out how to get it to match because she's a school teacher for kids with uh, disadvantages or learning differences, and she's trying to get training to be more of a higher end teacher. So she's basically going to be able to teach whole classes rather than doing one on ones, and that's going to be like 3-4 years, and it's going to take her like 2 or 3 hours a day. So we got to figure out how to work that into everything else that we're doing.
Right.
But I told her that's our family's main focus because after that she'll be making more money, and then we can move to a piece of property. And our final goal is to have enough property to throw down some houses for our kids to live in the future. Because manufactured homes are like they're pretty high quality and they're a lot cheaper than homes that have been built from
Yes.
the 80s or whatever.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, they're really good nowadays. Yeah, there was a time when my wife and I we looked at some of them, and it's amazing. Yeah, how the quality and how fast they can be put up. Right. All you
Hmm.
need is the foundation. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So that's the future goal. I would like to turn school into a full-time thing for me and then maybe work part-time at my job, like 2, 3 days a week tops, because I've done some research, and when people retire, if you leave your job and you don't replace that social structure and the whatever physical stuff you were doing at that job, it leads to like depression, especially in this area because of our like the lack of sunlight and stuff for so long out of the year. It's already a form of depression on its own. But yeah, like it's really bright. There's no sunlight right now. It's all clouds. It's just bright through the clouds. So yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, totally get that. And also depends what kind of individual you are. Some people are even more prone to that. Others might be coping better. And so, yeah. One thing you said about ever since you did your back in,
mhm,
things changed.
mhm,
What I've noticed with myself, um, so I used to be really disciplined with my coffee intake.
mhm,
And that came about after I had, well, all my life, I used to drink a lot of coffee. So there came
mhm,
a time when I'm like, okay, this is not good. And I reduced it to one cup mug, right? A day.
mhm,
And then over the past year, I think, or maybe a bit longer, it, um, from one day to the next, it started creeping up. And then by October last year, I was saying this is not good. It's like too much. And so I wrote down for 10 days my coffee consumption, and I was surprised that it wasn't actually that bad, but it was around 4 to 5 mugs a day, right? So 4 to 5 times more than that one. And
mhm,
so I decided, okay, I want to get back to one. And this past week now is the first week after, I think, 3.5 months now of returning down to one. So now I'm back to one. And I know myself, I have to do this gradually. So I didn't introduce, cold turkey. I could have done that, but I know that that would have lasted a week or two and I would have gone back because our body and our mind, we like consistency, right?
mhm,
And so that one mug that I'm on now, one mug before 9 a.m., that's a new habit that was one mug before 12 p.m. And then before that was the habit of two mugs no later than 12. And then before it was three, right? So it was gradual. And now I'm down at one. But what I'm trying to say is with that came back the other habits that also got messed up because of that coffee consumption. So, for example, I'm back to going to bed earlier, right? In the past, before I changed the coffee, it would slide to over midnight and past midnight or then 11 p.m., blah, blah, blah. And now I'm back consistently 10:30, I'm in bed. And so, one good habit leads to another good habit, leads to another good habit, or the reverse. You do your back in and then you don't do this, which leads to not doing that, and then that leads to not doing that, right?
mhm,
So it completely makes sense. I was surprised how much all of that is connected. So it's not
mhm.
it wasn't just my coffee getting out of hand, everything got a bit out of hand.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely take that into consideration. I got to figure something out. So,
And another thing is that I recently realized with one of the people I coach, if you've done it before, you can do it again. So what I mean by that is, if you were at one time, me for example, in very good shape with calisthenics, but then I stopped doing it, right? And so now instead of trying to find the next new best thing, why don't I just go back to being in that shape? Because I did it once, I can do it again, right?
mhm,
It's not like you're trying to achieve something you've never done before. No, you're simply going back to what you know you can do, right? So in your life, what is something that is really good for you and you used to do it, but now you're not, right?
It, okay. Yeah, we got time. So I used to work from 1 to 9:30 and get home at 10. And then after I got home at 10, I would go straight to working out and I would work out until 11 something and then get to bed between like 12 and 1. And the complication is I still got to get up at 6:30 in the morning to help everybody, the family and all that. So I tried to shift my workout days to the weekend so I could knowingly sleep in to 8:30, and I saved the bulk of my workouts for that Friday Saturday block, to get that going. Then something happened with my family, and my wife needed me to come home earlier to be with the family and to help out. So that time block for working out it disappeared, but it was also around the same time that I hurt my back, and I was like, okay, I gotta rest and relax. Then I was resting and relaxing, and then my schedule changed, and then I just have not gone back to working out since. And then a lot of
And
other things that were like with these meetings and stuff that I used to be able to attend because I didn't have to go to work till 1. Can't do it. I got to
yeah,
go to work earlier. I can't attend those meetings. So it's also changed that aspect.
and with your back, is that all good again now?
Yeah, I'm
Because
fine.
you're
I
yeah,
don't think I'll try and squat 400 right away, but I'll take it slow and build back up.
because I think it's also, psychologically in our mind. Because the
Yeah.
reason back then why I stopped was, for one, I went running and my shoes were no longer good enough, and
Yeah.
so I got tendinitis, right? That
Uh-oh.
Achilles tendon that, hurts like hell. And so
Mm.
I stopped running. But at the same time, I noticed that I had a small hernia, and I then
Oh.
got that checked, right? But it is so small that they stay away from any surgery because it could just make it worse. But the thing is, because of that happening, and then until the time it took to get it checked and everything, the mind then went into like, oh, I cannot work out because I have that. But the thing is, you had that. It's over now, right? Obviously,
Mm.
I will not do anything that would aggravate the hernia, right? But there's so many things you can do that don't. And so that's why I was asking, with your back, if it's okay again, but obviously not too soon. Um, yeah, why not get back into just something small, right? Not full blast.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Um, I may also have a hernia problem, but I'm not entirely sure. It's just some things have changed recently, and my wife's like, "That might be a hernia," and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." So I hear you there. There's things that happen as you get older that's just like, oh well, that's new and also not going away apparently.
Yeah, and I ask, because I always want to know. So I ask, and GP says it's basically just wear and tear, right?
Mhm.
That's all it is. It's wear and tear. And also, when I then looked at people doing calisthenics who have had a hernia, there is ways that you can specifically strengthen those muscles. So you can actually work out those muscles. And now that I hear myself speaking that, that's actually where I will start getting back into my calisthenics to
Yeah.
learn how to work those muscles. Yeah, and specifically also what exercises to stay away from, right?
Yeah, I need to be knowledgeable of what to stay away from, but I also want to start with my core rather than neglecting my core because I think that might have been part of the problem because the injury happened from leaning forward and just holding my body weight there, and it didn't happen until I had left that position. So I think that was a lack of core strength is the reason why. Like my back was strained because my core wasn't there to sustain my body weight.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm simply too heavy is also a part of it. I need to lose weight, and a lot of it is stored in my core.
So I take it for you, it's not easy to lose weight, right?
At this point, no, no, I'm kind of stuck from anywhere. My lowest point is like 279, and I'll bounce between 279 and 290. And I would like to get under 250. At my best, I was 235. I don't think I'll ever get back down to 235 without a serious change in my diet, which I don't know if that would happen without my family changing the way we do things. So hoping for 250 or less is kind of what I'm going for.
Yeah, the reason I'm asking is because I forgot what they're which order, but there's like these three body types: ectomorph, endomorph, and whatever.
Hmm.
And for one type, it is really hard to put on weight, and that is me. So in terms of if I want to be Schwarzenegger,
Hmm.
it's not happening. I would have to eat so much
Hmm.
because my metabolism is fast, etc.,
Hmm.
etc., right? And so, on the other hand, and that obviously for you that sucks big time, but for me it's really easy to lose weight. I
Hmm.
can, if I don't eat on a day where I work a lot with
Hmm.
my brain uses up the calories and I lose weight, right? And so it's
Interesting.
yeah,
That's
so for
cool.
you it's yeah, it's cool if you want to lose weight, but I don't need to lose weight, right? I need the opposite. If I work out calisthenics, I want to put on some
Well,
muscle, right?
I'll gladly share with you, Dan. Don't worry, I got plenty for you.
And so that's why I was asking, for you probably it's hard to lose weight, right? And so
Yeah.
it's lifestyle change because my wife at one point gained a lot of weight, but it was lifestyle change. And one of the biggest changes was a daily walk, just a daily walk. And over time, you make that walk longer. And there was a time where we stopped doing that. And guess what? Her weight went up again, right? And now we're doing it again, and the weight comes down again. It's movement is more important than exercise. That's what I've learned. Just
Hmm.
movement, right? Getting up
Yeah.
several times a day instead of just sitting all the time.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be, full blown workout. And Mindy is laughing.
I
I'm sorry, I'm making food meanwhile, so I need to eat.
Go for
Yeah,
it. I
and
don't
you need
It's
mind.
to eat.
I'm
You need,
listening.
you need to eat
That's okay.
earlier, not the last
Yeah, but
thing.
there's no earlier. That's not. Then if I would eat earlier, that means I need to eat at 5. That's
Oh.
really early. And after means I need to eat at 8:30. No,
Mm.
start making food at 8:30. No, that's not gonna happen.
Or or you could say, now is early. I'm not going to eat tomorrow.
What? I need to go.
Wow.
This is
Yeah.
strange.
I guess
Yeah.
it's too late. I can't eat till tomorrow. That's it.
No, 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 no. I've been up since 4. I just somebody needs to eat here.
Oh, there's another thing though, and I'm sure Keith came across this. What my wife also did and still does, intermittent fasting. So just
Mhm.
have a smaller eating window and a longer window where you don't eat.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Um, I've looked into that quite a bit. I turn into a very angry, aggressive person, and I don't know if that's a good idea. Plus, our family is we're heavy snaggers, so like it's to expect my family to follow through. It almost wouldn't happen. So it'd be all on me to make myself fast, and there's way too much food at hand. I think I'd be better off swapping out my habits than trying to force myself to fast.
And now here is something, and this is cultural, and like my wife now would say, don't feel any type of way.
It's fine.
But for us Europeans, and Mindy probably thinks that way too, it's a North American thing of they just eat too much somehow,
Oh yeah, we totally do. Yeah,
right?
we eat way
So
too much.
that then makes it really difficult when you're in an environment where everybody is just, used to that.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think my time frame is like if I'm at work and I work for more than say 4 hours without eating, like I start feeling that hunger pain. I get aggressive and kind of grumpy and stuff. And I used to think it was from like a sugar low or like my metabolism being high, but I don't think it's either one of those. I'm not entirely sure why, but yeah, I'll get grumpy if I don't eat. There's been some people I work with, they'll work all day and they'll be like, "Oh, I ate before I came to work and I'll eat when I get home." I'm like, "How can you do that without turning into a monster?"
Mm. What about there's another thing that just popped in my head, and that's something I need to get back to and I try to do. There's this saying of something like, eat like a king for breakfast, and then something for lunch, and then like a beggar for dinner. So in terms of eat a lot first in the day and then less, less, less till you go to sleep. Apparently, that has also a big effect on how we sleep and how we process food.
Yeah.
Because I'm asking because I'm the kind of person that if I don't control that, I'm the one that can go without food for a whole day, and then right before I go to bed, I'm like, "Oh, I need to eat," and
Yeah,
but
it's super bad for your body
yeah,
to eat a
you
bunch
know,
and go to yeah. I've woken up with stomach aches from doing that. Yeah.
yeah, and because your body is, when we're moving during the day, your body can digest, right? But when
Mhm.
you're lying flat and then the body has to do all the work, it's really not good.
Yeah.
So
And
that's yeah.
I think you might be benefited with that high metabolism to where your body can actually keep up and crush stuff while you're sleeping. But other people, they don't have that advantage, I would assume.
Yeah, that is another Dan problem. That yeah, I seem to get away with a lot of stuff that other people don't, and then for me it's like, oh, it's no big deal. I can do that.
Mhm.
Just like I used to say, oh, I can drink coffee right before I go to sleep. And yes, I can, but it turns out there's a genetic mutation that some people have that metabolizes coffee better, and I happen to have that. And so, yes, I can, but it still affects my sleep. So just
Mhm.
because I can do that doesn't mean that it's, normal. Hence why I also went back to my 1 cup. I see our time is up. I need to
Mhm.
jump off on another call with some people.
Right. Okay.
Right, guys. See you. Bye.